With the one and only Mikaela fighting Saturday, June 15th. Yeah, I get June and July mixed up all the time. You're fighting Lizbeth Crespo.
Yes.
Lots of experience. Tell us about the Lizbeth. What do you know about her?
Yeah, she's from Argentina, 13-4. Been in world title fights before. Seems to be pretty aggressive. Like she's gonna come at us and strong game. So we're ready for her.
Is that good as a seasoned boxer that you are? Isn't that kind of like water your mouth at fighters that kind of like want to come forward, want kind of, you know, the confrontation like that?
You know what? I've been coming from the amateurs where I just used to fighting so many different styles. Mm-hmm. There's not like one I favor more than the other because you never know. The two aggressive fighters doesn't mean they're going to fight aggressively the same way. So I never underestimate anyone or look past anyone. We expect her to give us her all and come forward hard. And yeah, we're ready for it. I've been having people pressure me my whole career because I am tall, so we have a game plan for that, and we're going to execute it well.
How much does that amateur experience really kind of translate into the pro ranks? Because obviously back in the day the amateurs did the point system, but like you said, you saw different styles from the world. So I mean that prepared you. Obviously maybe you weren't winning points, but I mean in the pro ranks it definitely helps, right?
It's experience you can't gain anywhere else. You know, I don't urge young boxers to turn pro without having some of that amateur experience on a national or world level. So, you know, not just your local club fights, but competing at a high level in the amateurs is experience that will take you such a long ways. And the style is very different from amateurs to pros, so you have to be conscious of those changes and really work to make those changes like I have the last 2 years. It's been a hard work to make those adjustments and get out of those bad habits that maybe serve you in the amateurs but definitely don't serve you in the pros. So very different, but I mean, I have almost 150 amateur fights, so she has 13-4 as a pro. I only have 10, but you can't match the 150 amateur fights.
Can't replace that. A fighter recently with a big amateur background and has a solid pro background as well. Andy Ruiz just recently kind of shocked the world against Anthony Joshua. What were your thoughts when you first saw that when that happened?
I mean, I think it's similar thoughts like what everyone was thinking, like what is happening? Because, and not that I underestimated Andy Ruiz, because I know he's a good boxer, and Manny's his coach, and Manny's my cut man, and so I was rooting for them. I knew it was going to be good. I think it was more everyone was shocked at like what is going on with Anthony Joshua, and the only thing I can think of is that Andy packs a mean punch, and he hit him, and he could not recover from that. So I'm really happy for Andy. I mean, first Mexican heavyweight champion, and he's such a humble, great guy. Obviously, I mean, I think the world's falling in love with him. So I hope he holds the title for a while.
Yeah, definitely. Were you surprised when Anthony Joshua asked his corner like what he hit me with, kind of 2 rounds later, and that he was just like, I think you were right.
I don't even remember that part or paying attention to that. Like I was just more like, he's so big, he's the heavyweight champion of the world, he's an Olympic gold medalist. Like, you don't just crumble like that unless you're hurt, to me, right? You're used to getting up when you're down and having to fight back, and there was just something that seemed like off about him, and I don't know what it was. I was waiting for him after the fight to tell us, like, hey, you know, I couldn't get my feet back under me or something, but he didn't say much. He was just humble in defeat and congratulating Ruiz, but, you know, I wanted to hear something.
I felt like that was his team, he himself, no excuses, no rumors started coming out. They shut him down right away. I feel like that's kind of a rarity in boxing.
So rare.
The loser just, no, he beat me.
Yeah, I was really kind of taken back by the way he responded to that. Yeah, the humility, and like he was so humble, and it made, like, you can't hate Anthony Joshua. Like it really made you think like, wow, like, you know, good for him. That's a true champion, the way he responded. But then again, as like a fan, like a boxing fan outside of being a fighter, I wanted to hear like an excuse almost. Like I almost wanted to hear him say, "This was why I didn't win," or "This is why I couldn't punch."
You almost expect it. You almost expect to like, what was it?
Not even an excuse, like a reason. So.
But no, props to him for not doing that for sure.
Yeah.
How does the rematch play out? How do you think the rematch play out? Does it play out different? Because I feel like Andy's style is just going to be difficult for Joshua.
I think people need to realize that Andy just has like a good style. I mean, he was, for a shorter guy, he was countering over Andy with speed. I mean, he was countering with speed over Anthony Joshua's punches. So And we only saw what? How many rounds is that? It was like seven rounds? Okay. Seemed a lot faster.
After 3 was when, after the
After 3, so there wasn't like a ton of action because something was up with Anthony, like obviously. So I just expect to see a little bit more. I hope to see a little bit more action in that rematch, so we can kind of just compare the styles a little bit more. But I'm rooting for Ruiz. Yeah, I'm rooting for him. I want him to win.
When you said right now that you're a tall fighter and you fight a lot of shorter fighters.
Yeah.
So what kind of advice, can you give, I guess, let's say Anthony Joshua or whatever, like, to kind of get a shorter, stockier fighter off of you?
Well, obviously, everyone thinks of keeping the space, right? As you're a tall fighter, keep your space, stay on the outside. But I think what a lot of tall fighters neglect is learning that inside game, right? Because what do your opponents want to do? They want to get you on the inside. So if you can be a double threat and fight from both positions, then they're even more dangerous. I mean, at least that's our method in our head, how we think. But as far as Anthony Joshua goes, I don't know. Like that's why I wanted to hear his excuse. I could be like, okay, well then you should have done this. But I mean, he's got the reach. He should be able to jab, 1-2, and I feel like he just didn't let his hands go.
Is 6 months going to be enough time to prepare for? Because it really seemed very difficult for him. So I guess we don't know. Like you said, maybe something wasn't, whatever.
He was really hurt.
But I mean, I feel like just stylistically, Andy's style is very difficult for AJ. Can you learn in 6 months how to combat that when Andy's, like you said, has a whole amateur career and pro career of fighting taller guys who are always trying to do those things?
Absolutely. If you have a good team, 6 months is plenty of time to make adjustments. Plenty of time. You could do it in less. You just have to be very conscious of what those adjustments are and have the coaches to implement them. Like, I know when my coach wants me to do something, there's no getting around it. Like, we're going to do it that way, and we're going to drill it and drill it and drill it and drill it until he's satisfied. So, I think the coaching is a big aspect of that too. Yeah,
definitely. Is that the kind of coaching you like? The kind of tell me what to do and I'm going to do it, like you're like because sergeant and soldier type of thing?
That's how I've been trained. I've been trained very, everything's about strategy, everything's behind the jab, everything's perfect footwork, and we'll do things over and over again. Coach Al's a perfectionist. That's just how he is, and Coach K too. And so if I get anything else, I'm like if I'm at the training center and another coach is in my corner and we're sparring, and after the round they're like, yeah, good job, keep doing that. I'm like, what? No. I definitely didn't do a good job. There was definitely something I could have done better. What is it? Right. And so I don't trust that kind of training. Right. I don't trust those coaches.
Like, tell me my mistakes.
Yeah, so any coach who tells me, who doesn't criticize or correct me, I just don't trust them. Because boxing's never perfected. There's always something I'm doing wrong or I could do better. So if you don't see it, then what are you here for?
Yeah. If anyone's doing, maybe Lomachenko maybe is, what I mean?
Yeah, right?
Maybe he's figured it out.
Yeah, maybe. Point.
Clarissa Shields just unified against Christina Hammer. One of the biggest fights in women's boxing really ever, because some of these mega fights in women's boxing never happened.
Yeah, no, it has been.
I mean, just what did that mean just for you, just in women's boxing, that the fight was actually made, and just kind of what does it mean for you going forward that these fights are happening, these you're going to be on pay-per-view, all these things.
This is the type of vision that me and girls like Clarissa, we've shared the same vision for women's boxing. This is what we wanted, and we knew it was going to happen. I never doubted that Clarissa would be in this position. She never doubted she'd be in this position. It's just amazing that the world is finally paying attention and watching and following. So I was there live. It was a blowout. She outboxed Hammer beautifully. It was a great fight. She looked amazing. She'll be here. I think she gets here tomorrow. So we definitely support each other, and we're Olympic sisters forever. It's my lifelong Olympic sister. So
it's beautiful. I interviewed Sunisa Estrada yesterday. It's beautiful to see you guys all kind of supporting each other. You guys are at the forefront right now of women's boxing.
It's not fun to have caddy girls in this. We had some caddy girls in the amateurs, and it was not fun. It ruins the vibe of the team. There's no point, because there's enough room for all of us. We need all of us. You can't just have one star. That's not enough. We need more than one star. We need a talent pool of successful women in this sport to really up the market for women's boxing and keep it there, right? So there's no reason to fight each other unless we're in each other's weight class and fighting each other.
Unless there's actually going to be a fight.
Yeah, leave it in the ring.
One question I've asked Clarissa, I've asked Sinisa as well. Just what's your take on the 2-minute rounds for women's boxing? Do you feel that, you know, in UFC, women fight the same 5 minutes as men, 3-minute rounds, or 5-minute rounds, or 5 rounds for the title belts?
Honestly, my perception about that question, you're already not paying me as much as the guys, so are you going to pay me more to go 3-minute rounds? No? Okay, well then I'll say it too. And now, as I'm becoming more of a seasoned pro, I almost want that time. You know, my last few fights have been 8 rounds, and I always feel like if I would have had one more round, I would have stopped these girls. Like my last 3 opponents, if I would have had 1 or 2 more rounds, they would have been done because they were dying in that 8th round. And I definitely know if I had 3-minute rounds that I'd probably have a lot more knockouts, and I would have been able to wear them down. And that's my style anyways. I stay behind the jab and I wear my opponents down. So I think 3-minute rounds would serve me in my style.
I agree. I feel like watching your fights, Clarissa, I feel like there's a lot of times getting closer to 2 minutes that the girl seems like they're out, and then it's like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
You know, the round's over. And I feel like you need that time to work.
Especially if you're boxing like a seasoned pro and you're boxing behind your jab and you're not just throwing punches, you're looking for openings, you need time to see.
No, I completely agree, and I think that also maybe is part of the reason, like, because UFC girls are main eventing, and you know what I mean, because I feel like fans see it, oh, they're fighting the same. And I feel like that helps to justify women's fighting a little bit more, is that they're fighting the same as the guys.
Yeah, it makes it appear more equal. Yeah.
Right, definitely.
I agree.
Mikaela, I really appreciate your time. Tell the fans where they can follow you and just follow the journey this Saturday and just going forward.
Yes, I'll be fighting this Saturday, June 15th. It'll be on ESPN2. Fights start at 4 p.m. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Mikaela Mayer, Twitter Mikaela Mayer, the #1.
And the dogs, tell them about your dogs.
Luna's on Instagram. If you want to see her, she'll be there every morning, every night. People follow me just for Luna. Okay,
you know, I mean, guilty.
People probably unfollow me for Luna too.
Yeah. We'll follow both of you, but we like the Luna stuff.
Yeah, I love her.
Thank you, Mikaela. Appreciate your time.
Thanks.